Well, first of all, he just asked the same thing about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I was, and I know you can't answer, so I'm going to modify it for you. Actually, it was great to see you in that, and your performance in that episode in particular is what sold me on the show, because you had a real depth, and it was really an interesting character, and I wanted to know what your thoughts were on how you've changed, how you brought that character to life from when you were doing Gunn.
Oh, what a great question. First of all, thank you so much for saying that. Thank you. I feel like I threw my whole self into that. But honestly, it's so funny. Okay, I have to go back to the audition story because I kind of do believe that roles find you. I don't feel like you find roles, they find you in a way. And so I know that from the minute I knew they were going to do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was probably a year before they shot the pilot, when I read the announcement, I just thought I'm going to be on that show. Not because I know Joss and know everybody associated with it, because it just doesn't work like that in his company. I just felt like I was going to be on it. I don't know how. So when I heard they were casting, I called my manager and I said, "Are there any roles for me or for somebody like me?" And she said, "No, none." I mean, not even a guest star. I was like, a guest star or one line, anything? No, there's nothing for anybody like you. But I still believed that I was going to be on it. Anyway, the new year came, and my New Year's resolution was to try new things. I was just going to try new things just for my own sense of expansion. I was like, I'm just going to try new things. So one morning at 11 o'clock, my manager called me, and she said, backstory, I got to give you a backstory. I won't go in for an audition if I don't have 24 hours to prepare for it, because I just don't like my work when I haven't worked on something. So my manager called me at 11 a.m. and said, "They want to see you for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. today at 3. I know you're going to say no, but what do you think?" And I just made that New Year's resolution, so I said, okay, I'll try it. I'll do it. So I had to go there and get the material, and I read the material for the audition, and that last scene in Union Station was one of the audition scenes. And there was a line that the character said where he said, it's very hard for me to even speak this line without getting emotional about it, but there was a line in there where he said, "I could be, a hero." And I just really understood that line. And like the person's whole life just laid out before my eyes. Like I understood how he felt, how he walked, who he was. And I felt like as long as I understand that line, then I'll know how to deliver everything else. And I didn't know any of the other lines when I went in, and I was like, they know I just got the material. I know I just got the material, and I just have to make it up as I go along. But I could really feel the essence of that. I mean, when your back is against the wall, but you still believe in yourself, I've been there so many times. So I just brought that with me. So anyway, I went in at 3 o'clock. I walked out, and I really had no connection to getting the part or not getting the part. I just felt like, wow, I kind of like really manifested that. I said I was going to try new things. I said I was going to, be on the show, and here I am. I was like, wow, this is so great. And I completely forgot about it. Then at 7 o'clock, my manager called and said, okay, they're considering you. Don't cut your hair. Don't shave. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah, you're up for it. Because I actually kind of thought I bombed it a little bit. And actually, I sent Joss an email that night. And I said, listen, I just auditioned for your show. If you see anything in my performance that you think is right, because I know that it's all about what you think is right. If you see anything in there that you think is right, I promise you I'm going to give you everything I have to bring this character to life because I love him. And so I left it at that. The next morning, I woke up. Again, I forgot about it. My phone is ringing off the hook now. And my manager said, you got the part, you got the part. Joss wants to see you at 2. So I was like, oh, my God, I got the part. Oh, my God, I got the part. So I was so excited. I went to the office. I went to see Joss. And I said, dude, thank you so much. I meant what I said in my email. And he said, what email? He never got it. So I was saying all that to say, what? But basically, no, I mean, and I really appreciate you saying that because, again, even though he didn't get my email, I knew that I had made a promise. And so, I gave it everything I had. I knew I had to climb up that wall, so I practiced 2 days in a row for it. I just felt like I really understood the guy. And I'm so glad that people felt what I felt. Because in that last speech, some people have had most people really get it, what I was really saying, and what was really being communicated in the piece. But some people put a weird dynamic on it that wasn't in the script and wasn't in my heart either. But most people really got it. I'm so sorry, I'm so long-winded.
I'd like you to know that I did. We really got that, and I really appreciate what you brought to that show. We're so looking forward to possibly...
Hypothetically. That's where we're going with, hypothetically.
You know, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I just want to add one other thing. I knew it was going to be a different performance because going into it, my intention, honestly, after I got the part, I said to myself, this is no longer about me. I just hope that through this piece, I could touch somebody who felt like their back was against the wall. That was just all I wanted to do. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Richards. I just wanted to say I love you, and I watched Angel like so many times. And waited in the line for 6 hours to see you today, and I just missed you by like 5 minutes to get a photo, so I was wondering if you have time after I got my ticket, if I could get a photo.
Of course. Come here, give me a hug. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, but the answer to your question is yes. That's a short answer.
I thought we were going to go into another audition story.
You know, I was auditioning for War and Peace. And, yes,
hey
sir.
Hi. If it's all right, I'm going to ask 2 questions.
Sure.
That's okay? Okay. Yeah. First question is a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. question. It's just sort of a different take on that final scene in Union Station. I was wondering if you could talk about just, like, the filming of that, particularly, like, you destroying things in the station. Like, the physicality of that, like, when watching it the first time, I thought was really cool. I just wanted to know how that was filmed and how you guys did that.
Yeah, that was tough because we shot for maybe like a little less than 4 weeks. And every single day that I went to work, and I worked like maybe like 3 out of those 4 weeks or 2.5, something like that. And every day when I came home, I was sore from head to toe. Even in a scene where I didn't think it was that physical, like, you know, I'd say to my friends, oh, I just have to jump out of the window today. I'll be home early and we can go out. Sore from head to toe. But yeah, that physicality, it was there in the script, and you know, my stuntman actually did the high fall, that long fall, and then a computer double did the crash. But yeah, it was just a part of where he was. He was raging. He was really irritated by the serum, and yeah, it was brutal. Again, that scene, sore from head to toe, just from picking up that rebar, crashing it into the thing. My voice was shot. It was tough. It was tough. But I was in my zone that day. I wasn't talking to anybody. Between takes, I'd go in the corner and just chill and then come out and do it. And so it was a tough scene, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. My second question was actually an Angel question. I was just wondering, like, what one-liners that Gunn has from the series really stick out in your mind? Any one-liners you particularly liked?
Oh my God, there's so many. So many.
Choose one.
Wow. That's so tough.
Sorry.
No. You know, okay, oh, I do this all the time. I'm going to pause that, and then I'll tell you when it comes to me, okay? Because I want to give you the right one. And whenever I'm asked certain questions, the right answer comes later. So I don't want to give you the wrong answer. So let me think about that, and I'm going to come right back to that.
All right, I'll hold you to it.
Okay, cool. Don't let me forget.
I know actually one of my favorite lines in Angel is actually a Gunn line. It's when Fred becomes Delaria, and she bursts really, really fast, and they're trying to figure out how she vanished. And you're like, oh, yeah, he just Wally Wested us. And they're all looking at you. Jake, Eric, okay, ran really, really fast.
That's a typical Joss type line. Yes, exactly. Oh, I got it.
Oh, that close. You're that close.
Yes, this is it. Something about Denzel being robbed from Malcolm X. I love that line. And then after I leave, they say something, and then Angel says, what was it? Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly, that line. So it was something about Denzel being robbed from Malcolm X.
Hi. I just wanted to start by saying that I wanted to add my vote to the possibility of you maybe showing up in S.H.I.E.L.D. again.
We'll just start a ballot box.
We just got to send it to the right person, that's all.
Yeah, if you want to give us Joss's email, I'm sure we'll all.
But we know he doesn't get the email, so it may not work.
Yes.
What I wanted to ask you was about the puppet episode of Angel.
I love that episode.
And I was wondering.
So much fun.
I was wondering if you were a little bummed that there's no gun puppet.
Yes. Because I love puppets. That episode was so much fun. We just laughed constantly, and thank God Andy was there because he just makes everything funnier. He's just the funniest person ever.
I think Gunn would have made an adorable puppet.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not going to ask about you going back on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I asked you that in line earlier today. But I know you died in Arrow, but is there any chance of that character coming back? Because it is comic books.
I know. I sure hope so.
He was an ass.
I know. You know what the funny thing about that is? And I can't tell an audition story because I didn't audition for it. So it was the most interesting thing. I was sitting around waiting to go to Australia to do a con, and then my manager called and said, "You got an offer to be on Arrow." And I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah, they want you to be on the show." And I was like, "Well, let me read the script." And I read the script, and the character was called Mr. Blank, and he is the most sociopathic, evil killer chasing around the most adorable 9-year-old boy to kill him for an hour. And I thought, what made them think of me for this part? I was like, I've never done anything like this before. I think that the characters I play have a certain warmth to them. So I was like, huh? But I was like, okay, this is a great challenge. I'll give it a try. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just tried to, I read the script. I tried to figure out what I should be like, what I should act like, how I should do it. And after days of thinking about it, I just thought, well, the guy's name is Mr. Blank. So everything I'm going to do is going to be blank. I'm just not going to do anything. But then I noticed that he had this ability to absorb a room. Like he'd walk into rooms and be like, oh, there's so much love in this room. And I was like, okay, so he can feel emotions off of things, but not off of people. And once I had that, it was kind of off and running. So I really want to play that character again.
I think you should.
I know, but he died. I died the first day that I showed up to shoot.
Please, you know comics, they always come back.
Yeah, exactly. So
Not necessarily on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. though.
Exactly. Right.
I have to admit, when they told me I'd be doing your Q&A, all I could think of was that episode. I'm like, okay, he's going to be over here, and I'm just going to put my chair all the way up.
Right, because I might explode. I always told them I was the bomb.
Hal-Con.